Hey guys, I'm here to do your learning targets with you for this week. This week we're actually doing 3 learning targets, so I wanted to go through each one of those with you. Before we get started on that, I did want to show you kind of how this learning target slideshow kind of goes. So the learning targets are all in order. So when I say learning target 3 or learning target 4 or 5, okay, it's the number of slide that it is on. So if you go to slide 1, this is the very first learning target that we did, okay? And this was the second. Number 2 is the second one. We just actually got done doing this. We took our quiz on. And then we have our third one that I'm going to be talking to you about today for, this one's for Tuesday. Remember, you don't have school on Monday. So this is for Tuesday on September 8th. So your learning target for Monday is I can use a model to explain how systems interact. Okay? And then while you're doing this, I would really like you, or watching this, I'd really like you to write this and highlight it just like we have done in class in the past. Okay? So if you're really struggling on what I'm talking about, email me and I'll let you know. But you do need your highlighters that I gave you, or that you have, okay? You always need blue, orange, and green. And we'll talk about what the yellow is going to be for later. But our learning target for is going to be, I can plan and carry out an investigation to explain how our body systems maintain homeostasis. Okay? So our standard is HSLS1-3. And it says, plan and conduct an investigation to provide evidence that feedback mechanisms maintain homeostasis. So we're going to be looking at how our body uses each and every system to maintain homeostasis, and we're going to be talking about a specific few of those systems to maintain homeostasis within the body. So remember, homeostasis is that internal balance that our body works to keep up with. So for our disciplinary core idea, so do we know science? We're going to be looking at how our body's maintaining homeostasis. Planning out and carrying out investigations, we are going to look at some different ways that us as humans maintain homeostasis, how some animals maintain homeostasis, and then how plants maintain homeostasis as well. And then the last one is our cross-cutting concept is stability and change. So we're going to be looking at how we can keep those body systems stable and what happens when they do change and how our body will kind of respond to that. So for our highlighting, okay, I want you to write this standard in your notebook after you write the learning target. And then in blue, for our science and engineering practice, we're going to highlight plan and conduct an investigation to provide evidence that. Okay, so that's our science and engineering practice, or SEP. And then we're going to highlight in green feedback mechanisms. Okay, that's going to be our cross-cutting concept, focusing on stability and change. And then our DCI, or disciplinary core idea, remember that's do you know science. It's going to be highlighting in orange, maintain homeostasis, and we're going to be focusing on how our bodies maintain that homeostasis. And then we're going to go to learning target number 5 and 6. These ones will actually be for Friday. Yeah, Friday. So let's go through those quick. We're going to be talking about photosynthesis and cellular respiration. So that's what these kind of learning targets are focused on. The first one, I can use a model to explain how systems interact. Okay. We're going to be talking about plants in this case for this standard. So our standard is use a model to illustrate how photosynthesis transforms light energy into stored chemical energy. Okay. In our science and engineering practice is developing and using models. So when this one we're going to be using a model. You'll be given a few models, and you'll also be drawing a couple models on your own. That's our science and engineering practice, is that developing and using a model to explain different things. And then the next part to illustrate how is our cross-cutting concept, which in this case is system and system models. So we're going to be looking at how plants use their systems in order to carry out how they get energy. And then the last part, photosynthesis transforms light energy into stored chemical energy. That's going to be our disciplinary core idea. So we're going to be talking about how photosynthesis changes light energy into energy that the plant can actually use to do everyday processes. And then we have our learning target number 6. Okay, this one is I can use a model to show how carbon is cycled throughout the earth. And then our standard is LS25, okay, and it says develop a model to illustrate the role of photosynthesis and cellular respiration in the cycling of carbon among the biosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and geosphere. So we're going to be focusing on how plants and humans and animals have a relationship where photosynthesis or what plants do make what we need, and in turn we carry out cellular respiration to make what plants need. And this is kind of an ongoing cycle to help us both get the energy we need to carry out everyday activities. So our disciplinary core idea is cycles of matter and energy transfer in ecosystems, developing using models again for our science and engineering practice, and for our cross-cutting concept, system, and system models. Okay, so the first part, develop a model. So we're going to make a model. And then to illustrate the role of, so we're going to be showing the systems of both photosynthesis and cellular respiration and how those work for humans and for plants, and humans, animals, and plants. And then our disciplinary core idea, we're going to be looking at energy transfer within an ecosystem. So basically how plants carry out photosynthesis to make energy and what they release for us, and then what we take in from the plants and we use that energy, and then we give stuff to the plants as well. And we're definitely going to be hitting home on how carbon is transferred throughout those systems. So those are your learning targets for the week. Make sure that you're writing these in your notebook and labeling them. If you look along here, the numbers, they line up with the number learning target. So this one we just did, you would number it learning target number 6. Okay, so make sure you're doing that so you can keep track of those as well.